Okay guys, Randall Hero here, and of course I'm going to be uploading this today, even though this is October of 2021. I had to think. I am going to upload this today though, even though I'm far out ahead of this. I just wanted to do a video of me cleaning them up before I race them in for the championship. I broke our bumper going over some jumps with it. We'll work on it. We got a new bumper ordered with a I still got plenty of engines. I'm going to get an extra battery for this one as well, since these two use the same batteries. I'm going to clean up the Bigfoot first, but the only thing I'm going to clean up, I am going to clean the bodies up too, but I'm going to do that in the off season after the championship's over. This will be race 30 of 32 altogether. Next race after this is going to be another regular race. Then we're going to have a playoff race for the championship. Then it'll be the championship race. I've also got my old body I'm going to clean up as well. But I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to work on the transmissions, clean the motors up, clean the gears up, get them re-greased, put it back together, make sure they're set right. Check for screws to make sure they're tightened up. Take the tires off, clean the tires and rims up, put them back on right. Check for any bad bearings. If they're fairly bad, I'll just keep running them because it's only a few races left. I'm not really worried too much about bearings at this point. Not really worried about cleaning up the chassis, just clean up the tires and rims and clean up the bodies for them. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to work on the Bigfoot first. Now, first thing I'm going to do, since it's a newer one, you don't have to have Allen wrenches. I'm going to get one of my tools out of there that it comes with to take this nut off, which takes the tire off. Then I can take the screwdriver and take that one off and that one right there off and take this cover off with this. So I'm going to use a 7mm Allen wrench screw here. Also got this set, and I also have this set in here, which is, that's the original that comes with. I'm going to use it for the Traxxas slash only. So I'm just going to use this to take the nut off and the tire off, and I'll see you in the next shot. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I took that nut off, take the tire off. I already went ahead and removed both these screws. You just slide it off like so. Step to the side. And then there's your regular drive gear. As you can see, there is some sand in there. I need to clean that out. So there's that. Gotta make sure it's tightened up, make sure the engine's clean, and I'll be right back. Okay, I already did that. This one actually looks pretty well clean. Inside the engine, I can't get to that unfortunately, but it looks pretty clean. Besides where I see one of the brushes are coming undone, looks like. Or actually has come undone in half, as you can see. Down in there's a whole brush there. So yeah, that's why this motor's going out. I'm just going to run it how it is today and put a new motor in it later. You see, this whole piece right here is a brush. And it's broken in half, as you can see. It bends. So yeah, that's copper. And that's broke off. But the motor still works, but it's going out. Okay, I got that one put back on. Now I'm going to check the transmission on this one and on the Stampede. The Stampede's going to be the trickiest one, and this one will be too because they're Allen wrenches. And then to that, I'll show you how to clean them up. So this one's basically built the same way, the same nut. You take the tire off, but on here, the bolts are in the same spot, but they're Allen wrenches instead of, or stars instead of regular screw. So instead of a Phillips head, so we're just going to take those off with the wrench, and we'll be back in the next shot. Alright, intended to it as well. It looks good. One of these two bearings over here is no one out, as you can see right down in there. But I'm not that worried about it though. There's only a few races left in the season to make it to the end of the season. It's only a little wobbly. It'll probably be real wobbly by the next couple runs when we get to the championship race, but it'll be fine. And I'm going to take these tires off anyway. And you can see the main bolt down there that's coming out again. I just tighten it up and we'll be good. So now, here comes the big, hardest one to get to the Stampede. Aye, aye, aye. Since it's been working fine, I would hate for it to mess up. So, and everything's still tight on it and it's still running fine. And I would hate to take it apart, how this thing actually works. I hate to take it apart and mess up my championship run. So I'm actually going to leave the transmission alone and leave it how it is for now. The motor's fine. It's still the newest motor out of all of them. More likely to go out first, but probably second because of the Bigfoot's going out. So I'm just going to leave it how it is, and I'll change it once the championship's over. But I'm going to go ahead and clean them up. So I'll start off, I guess, with the Stampede while I'm already around here to it. I'll take the tires off, then I'll see you in the next shot. Okay, so I got both the front tires here, and both the rear tires here. Got it took down. I'm not gonna work on the transmission, remember, I'm gonna clean it out though. I'm not gonna try to clean up the body though, I'm just gonna clean it out. I'll spray it down some and clean it out. I'm gonna clean the tires up. I'll see you in the next shot after I clean them up. And I'll clean the body and the remote here in just a moment. So there you go, guys. I cleaned it up some. It's good enough for me. Now I'm gonna fully clean up the body and fully clean up the tires. Be back in the next shot. So there you go. Tires are cleaned up. They are stained because they're old, but tires are cleaned up and the body's cleaned up. Now we're gonna put it all back together and I'll show you in the next shot what it looks like. So there you go. There's the Stampede. Now we're just gonna clean up the remote. I'm gonna show you that later. I'm gonna clean up both of those bodies for them too. Let's do it. So there's your chassis cleaned up for you. Don't look half too bad. And now we're just gonna clean the tires up. Let's do it. So there you go. Looks a bit cleaner. Eh? Nice, nice, nice. I mean, of course, it's still kind of dirty in there. I can clean that up. Not yet. We didn't clean up we don't clean up the full chassis. That's not until in the off season when we get ready to race again next year. Body's ready to go. Now just one more thing to do with Bigfoot, and I got to take this one tire off to make sure that that main bolt is tight all the way. So there you go, guys. It's done too. And here's the finishing result with them all sitting right next to one another. Awesome. See you in the next one. Peace out.